Hey everybody, I am videoing from my car today because my house is kind of loud and crazy and I wanted a moment to get away and be by myself, so I'm in a lonely parking lot so that I can make this video for you guys because I have something cool that I want to share with you, an awesome experience that happened to both myself and my husband. Now this is largely my husband's story. With his permission, I share this story. I wanted him to come make this video with me, but he is not as comfortable sharing his emotions and feelings as I am. I don't think most people are as comfortable as I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and so I am going to share his experience and my experience with you. Now, this happened about 6 months ago. I was really feeling overwhelmed with depression. I needed relief so badly. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In my religion, we have what's called a blessing. So you can ask for a blessing of peace or of healing from a worthy member who holds the priesthood. And that is what we believe is the power of Jesus Christ. Just like when Jesus Christ was here on this earth and he healed people, we believe that through the power of the priesthood that we also can be healed or be given blessings of peace. And I was really struggling with depression, and so a few days before this experience I had asked my husband and my dad and my brother to give me a blessing. So just to describe my husband, he is very optimistic, very happy-go-lucky. I've seen him probably cry 5 times in our whole marriage, and he believes in what he calls mind over matter, that if he puts his mind to it, that he can decide to be happy, that he's in control over his emotions. And he didn't believe in depression until he'd really watched me struggle with depression for a while. I don't know exactly why he had this experience, but it has played a significant role in the way that I view things, and I really want to express to you the things that I've learned. So on this particular day, happened probably 6 months ago, his morning routine is maybe get up and work out, maybe read his scriptures, have some quiet time before the kids wake up, shower, get ready, eat his breakfast, and then he goes downstairs to his home office where he works there for a little while and then hits the road. On this particular day, he was ready for the day and was fixing himself his breakfast and just started feeling really emotional and exhausted mentally and physically. And so rather than eating breakfast with the rest of us family, he decided to take his breakfast downstairs, which I don't think he has ever done before. And he said once he got downstairs that his emotions just came to the surface, that he just sobbed and was like, what is my deal? I don't know why I'm so emotional. He called me a little bit later, probably middle of the day around lunchtime, and was really upset. And I was like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know why, but I cannot stop crying today. I feel so empty and frustrated and exhausted emotionally and mentally. And he's like, I just don't have energy. And everything he was describing to me was depression. He's like, I just feel so depressed. So what had happened was, and I'm going to refer to my notes really quick. So he said at one point he was saying a prayer and he or was thinking to himself, and he said, is God trying to tell me something? Is this what my wife goes through? Because deep down inside, he just felt sadness for no reason at all. So then after he left that parking lot and had his lunch, he said he drove, I guess, closer to another client's and stopped in another empty parking lot and just sat in there and cried. I hope I'm telling this story accurately, but once we were on the phone, I realized, because I could hear the despair in his voice, and he was expressing to me how awful he felt and how little energy he felt, I was terrified for him. My mind immediately went to the awful, deep, dark place that I've been in when I've been depressed. And my mind kind of went wild with the possibilities of how bad his depression could be. Was he suicidal? How upset was he? What kinds of things was he thinking that he wasn't expressing to me? Anyway, so I called him just a little bit later because I was so concerned, and he didn't answer. And I think I called again and he still didn't answer. And then of course I'm panicking because I'm thinking of all of the possibilities of why he wouldn't be answering his phone when I know he's depressed. And so I am terrified. And I remember kneeling down, just saying the most sincere, desperate prayer and just saying, Heavenly Father, whatever he needs to learn from this experience, please help him learn, and please help this to pass, because I don't like it. I wanted to take his depression for myself so that he didn't have to experience it. Eventually, he called me back later, was still upset, and just really telling me that he just could not pull himself together. He was having a really hard time seeing his clients. And I just begged him. I said, why don't you just come home and take care of some of your emails and do some of the things that you need to do in the office. If you need to come home and take a nap, it's okay. I just want you to come home. Like, it's okay if you just spend the rest of the day upset. I just was trying to explain to him how much I understood and that I loved him, and that he could come home. He didn't have to work. I didn't care whether he worked. I didn't care if he made money that day. I just wanted him home and safe and to take care of himself. That was all. So he decided that he would come home. He said the depression slowly let up as the night went on. Just a couple days later, it hit me with such power when I realized, when he was going through his depression, I was confident that he needed to learn something from this depression. But it never dawned on me until a few days later that maybe I was the one that needed to learn something from his depression. I realized that when I am depressed, that's how my husband feels about me. That's how my children feel about me. And that's how your loved ones feel about you. They want you exactly as you are, with all of your imperfections. They just want you. I started seeing my husband's depression as a unique gift from God. As strange as that is, it was a gift for me to change my perspective and see the way that my family views me and my depression completely different. And so a few days after my husband's depression, not even a week after the blessing that I received, I realized that this was a gift from God. That my Heavenly Father needed me to see my depression in a different way. That although for whatever reason I still have depression, that I needed to view the way my family felt about my depression differently. That I wasn't a burden to them, that they wanted out of the way because I wasn't happy all the time. That they wanted me exactly how I am. So many times I have imagined my family's lives without me and my depression dragging them down. I have pictured so many times that maybe my husband would be happier if he had a happier wife, or that my kids would have a happier life if they had a new mom who was happy and cheerful and maybe could play with them more often or with more energy than I do. And I realized a few days after my husband's depression that this is not true. That like my husband could never be replaced. that neither could I. And I tell you, with every fiber of me, of who I am, of what I believe, and what I firmly believe, Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ feel as well. You cannot be replaced. That you are wanted and needed precisely how you are. Do not think for another moment that you can be replaced, because you cannot.